We're 2 days away from the trade deadline. Today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, and it's Thursday. February 9th is when everything is supposed to go at a halt. And one of the people that shook up the league is Kyrie Irving. And guess what? The Nets have turned their attention now to the Raptors. I'm Noor, Zainab, next to Jelani, Goodridge-Reid, and Justin Pooni. Guys, one name being thrown around. This is Ben Simmons. He's coming back to the Raptors. It seems like the Nets are very adamant on dealing him. They're throwing his name around whenever it comes to Pascal Siakam, VanVleet, whatever they can kind of get together. But league says that Ben Simmons currently has no trade value. So why would the Raptors want to trade for someone who doesn't get better year after year for someone who continues to get better year after year?
I think people are getting stuck at looking at just Ben Simmons and Pascal Siakam or Ben Simmons and VanVleet or whatever that deal is going to be. Ben Simmons is kind of like a throw-in, right? Because the Raptors are going to get a whole bunch of draft capital. I doubt they're going to get Nick Claxton. They're probably not going to get Cam Thomas, right? Maybe. They never know, right? But Ben Simmons is being thrown into these trade talks because the Nets are trying to get rid of him, right? Yeah. So they're going to attach a whole bunch of draft picks. And we talked about yesterday, desperation and smelling of desperation. The Brooklyn Nets are desperate to get rid of Ben Simmons, and they might be so inclined to attach more draft picks than they want to, or adding another player that they don't really want to add into a potential trade so they can get Ben Simmons out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, well, when you're looking at the next 2 years, okay, he's owed $37 and $40 million. I don't know if the Raptors want to take that on, right? That's a lot of money for a guy. Let's face it, he has not been playing well this season. We expected him to look like his Sixers form. Yeah. Hasn't been there yet. He's still trying to find his way. He's regressed, right? You never know what could happen if he does come to Toronto, right? He still has a lot of upside. Ben Simmons has the talent. We always talk about it. This guy's basically Bron without the shot. That's what we've been saying, right?
Okay, let's not disrespect LeBron James.
No, I'm not disrespecting.
LeBron is going to break the scoring record today. Don't disrespect.
We know that. We know that. Okay. But I said without the shot. But anyway, point being, Ben Simmons, he's a good player, but he has not been playing that way. No. Do the Raptors want to really entertain that? I don't think so, right? If you're going to add Ben Simmons, he might be the centerpiece because right now, they're not going to want to trade Cam Thomas. That's not going to happen, okay? We do want him. I really would like him here, but the way he's been playing as of late, especially as of late, it's not going to happen.
Points last night.
Yes, back-to-back 40-point game.
Against the Clippers, healthy. Kawhi get Paul George on the court.
I don't think that's going to happen. Then when you're talking about Claxton, we could have traded for him last year. We could have had him last year, and it would have been for a first, right? We could have had that done. Didn't happen. So I think the Nets dodge a bullet with that, not having to deal him. We want him again, but again, I don't think the Nets want to do that right now because he's been playing well. He's a key piece to the Nets, roster right now. Because if you're looking on the inside, he's so huge for what they do in terms of rebounding, in terms of defense. That's why we want him so bad, but the Nets are not going to want to give him. So I expect a possible, if there is a deal, right? You're looking at Ben Simmons, Joe Harris, Seth Curry. Okay, guys like that picks as well, and maybe a guy like Royce O'Neal. It might be a lot, but that's what it's going to be.
Let me ask you guys this: do you think these reports are coming out now because Masai wants to gauge interest on Pascal throughout the league and see, hey, Brooklyn's offering me this. What would you offer me for Pascal?
I don't think so. I think this is more so the Brooklyn Nets kind of inquiring about Pascal because I think we know Masai is probably not going to make Pascal available, especially because I just don't think the Nets have the assets to get Pascal. They can throw in the whole roster, but it's not going to make sense, right? Like, as long as you attach a guy like Kevin Durant, then they're becoming sellers. And then we have to add more pieces around Pascal to make that happen. But at the same time, why would the Raptors want to do that? Got their roster to bring in a guy who's amazing at basketball, but what are you going to do with that team that he's going to have left over, right? That's not going to happen.
But what I meant by that was I think these kind of similar to OG. Remember they said, somebody offered 3 first-round picks, but he's not available. Now OG's readily available. For Pascal, I'm saying they're like, well, Brooklyn's, we're getting calls, and he's not available, but he kind of is because we're taking calls on him, right? That's what I'm saying. Is he's just driving the price up for Pascal? So
he might be.
If somebody offers a king's ransom, okay, we'll ship on.
I don't know, but I don't think that it's going to be on the Raptors to go inquire about Pascal. It's more so the Nets, I think, inquiring because they're watching the fact that Kyrie just left, right? They know they have Kevin Durant left over, so now they have to appease to Kevin Durant to be like, what can we do for you? How do we make this team for you? Yeah, to make you stay here at this point. And who's the hottest team on the market right now? The Toronto Raptors. Who's the hottest guy on the market? Well, probably not even on the market. Like, I don't think the Raptors are actually actively scouting him. I think they're open to hearing about discussions that people say about him. But I think on the totem pole of players that they want to move, he's at the very bottom. I think that's pretty much Pascal.
Yeah.
I
I don't expect a deal to happen with Pascal.
No.
I think it would probably be Fred or OG. Shock me. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But right now, I think if there is going to be a guy that the Nets really want, it's obviously Pascal Siakam, right? To put him with KD. But realistically, I think it would either be OG Anunoby or Fred. Those are the two guys I'm looking at. And then when you're talking about that deal, I want a lot of picks. That's going to happen, of course. But the problem I see is the Ben thing. I think he's capable of being really, really good. But I don't know as well as that. I don't know if the contract situation that he's currently under the next 2 years, do the Raptors want to take that on? I don't think they do, right? And if you're going to make that deal, I do want other vets on that squad. I mentioned, guys like Seth, like I said, like Patty Mills even. You're going to look into that. Right, but we'll see.
We'll see about the whole Brooklyn thing too, because remember, they halted the deal with Dallas to try to get a third team involved. Everybody thought Toronto was going to be that third team to get involved. Spencer Dinwiddie would have looked like he was going to come to Toronto, but maybe the Brooklyn door is now shut, and now Toronto's going to pivot to somewhere else and see.
I don't know if it's shut because that report with Fred, possibly going to Brooklyn.
But now
you
you're
get
also
back
hearing
at Spencer, and then
you're also hearing now Orlando bringing Jalen Suggs in to Fred to go to Orlando.
Well, I
you did mention that, right?
That was my trade actually. I said Freddie for Suggs, and then another guy over there to bring in some PG, some center depth.
Did you check in with Austin? Did you check in with Austin Rivers though before you made that deal? Because Austin Rivers owns Orlando. That's his city, so you got to check with him before you do anything.
Check in with him and Mickey Mouse.
Let me know if you're cool with having Fred VanVleet on your squad. Thanks so much. But my thing there is if you do want to get Pascal on your team, you're gonna have to give up. And for the, like I said, for the Nets, it seems like they're not gonna give up Nick Claxton or Cam Thomas. But if you want to get Pascal, those are the kind of guys you have to give up.
If they want Pascal so bad, I'm sorry, I need Claxton.
You need Claxton.
That's just me. I need Claxton.
I need both.
Right? It's not gonna work because Masai, Bobby, they're not gonna entertain it if Claxton's not in there. You want an all-star caliber player?
Yep.
I want someone with high upside. It's got to be Claxton. Because I don't think Cam Thomas is going to come. I think they really want to keep him. Of course they want to keep Claxton. But it's going to have to require him.
Golden State is probably going to make a move, right?
They better.
Could they pick up the phone and call Masai, look, we'll give you Kuminga,
But again, their
Moody,
pieces
Wiseman.
aren't. I don't like their pieces right now.
No,
the way Moody hasn't really stepped up. Wiseman has been worse.
I get that, right?
I don't like it.
But I'm saying they play with the Golden State Warriors. That's a team always to go for championships, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just a new change of scenery and getting more playing time. Maybe what these guys need.
Yes, but
we can all admit Wiseman, Moody,
Kuminga, maybe.
They all have high ceilings,
what you're
right?
telling me right now, though, is this. I think a lot of fan bases, a lot of whenever I see player trades, it's like this. It's this amazing player that this new team wants to bring on to make themselves even more contenders. And they're like, have our little dust bunnies in the department. That's not this. That deal with the Warriors, though, clearly only benefits the Warriors right now. So you want to get something that's going to benefit you.
It could benefit the Raptors with their potential,
the Warriors
but I don't
and Raptors are in different positions. That's right, because the Warriors are still trying to squeeze every last bit of a championship run out of this core, right? The Raptors know they're not going to win a title with this core, right? So okay, fine. We'll trade our best player away, but we can acquire assets that will help us build a championship team for years to come. Because that's
I'd
rather another package.
I was going to say I'm down for that, but I think if you're at that point, you have to explore other packages, and I don't think Warriors will be the best package.
I'm not saying the Warriors are the best package, right?
That's
but I'm also
my
saying,
thing.
Does Masai want to trade Pascal to Brooklyn and have to deal with him for the next
Of course
couple
not.
years?
Of course not.
I'd rather trade him.
I get Claxton.
Hey, the
That's
Sacramento Kings. Get the Sacramento Kings deal that I pitched. I'm telling you. It's a great deal.
Well, has Sacramento called us? That's the thing. But I don't know.
You got to call them, right?
On that Warriors thing, I don't really like the package when you're comparing it to other squads that could, like the Suns are out there, the Nets are out there.
It was just an idea. It was just an idea.
I'm just
saying. No, I get it. Well, the trade deadline 2 days away. Today's what? February 7th.
Yes.
February 9th is not tomorrow, but the day after, and we'll see again who's going to be a Raptor in proper Masai fashion. That call's probably going to be made at after midnight, 2:30 in the morning. We're gonna find out when you're going to your bathroom break or something. It'll be like, oh my god, my entire core has been traded away now. So Thursday is the day. Let's keep our eyes peeled, and we'll be back tomorrow with any new storylines, any new rumors. We'll keep it locked. See you next time.